Welcome back, and a fresh conversation. Debashish Banerjee, partner insurance at Deloitte India, joining us to understand what the industry needs from budget 2026 and what we can expect. India's insurance penetration, remains abysmally low to a large extent, Mr. Banerjee, as you well know, 4% odd, and despite this, of course, despite the strong regulatory reform that we've seen. What would accelerate, in your opinion, the movement towards insurance for all by 2047? Talk to us about the broader picture first before we start asking you specifics.
Thank you. First of all, it's a pleasure, to be here and to speak to you on this and this important, topic as well. First of all, you are absolutely right. I think there are a lot of measures that has been taken up, but our penetration as it is defined, and I say this because that's one of the asks that I believe might be helpful. As we define, penetration is low, hovering around 4%, where the global average is about 7 to 8%. And the top three things that comes to my mind that needs to absolutely happen is, first and foremost, is policies around how do we ensure that the trust for insurance policyholders are maintained and these are not sort of betrayed, right? So I think government, like you said, government has done a lot of stuff, but how do you improve the trust? Policies around mis-selling, code of conduct, policies around claims processing, timely processing, all of that stuff, right? Timely sort of rebuttal processes and things like that. So one entire theme, I will say, is around trust. The second piece, which will aid in helping all of that stuff that I spoke about, is to help improve the competition. So while I know we have done a little bit of work around this FDI coming to 100, new funds coming in, global companies with global processes coming in, I think there are a lot of other things that needs to happen. Talk about composite licenses, talk about the M&A activities and norms around this, talk about many of those other aspect that needs to be taken care of, which will help us improve competition between the players, which will help on pricing, product, innovation, and so many different things, right? So that's the second big theme in my mind that the policyholders need to work on. And last but not the least is, as we improve, there is a tendency that the players are still focusing on the urban areas where you have the affluent sort of people for India, and that takes me to that KPI point that I spoke to you about. In India, we may have to think about a little bit more around what's penetration like for us, right? What's the measure that you want to go with? Is it a standard that everybody else follows, which is how many premium divided by the GDP and so on, or should it be how many people are insured in some form? Because our bigger problem is the rural areas and the semi-urban areas where awareness is a problem, price affordability is a problem, and so many other reach and distribution. As you increase the competition, as you build the trust, you are also able to really concentrate and take care of that sector of the population, which I think we have been a little bit sort of slow in adopting to those kind of things, whether it is measure changes, whether it is really having very focused initiatives and policies and governance around that or not. So these are three, if you ask me, broad things that we should absolutely be taking care of.
Okay, Mr. Banerjee, thanks for that insight. And talk to us about how important this entire proposed composite licensing framework is at this point, the need to club general and life insurance under one umbrella. How does that improve accessibility?
So it improves accessibility. This is a very, very important, piece here, I feel, and in both ways, right? So so let me first talk about from the policyholder's perspective as a consumer. What needs to happen is we need to, many a times we hear that the policyholder says, oh, I have got my life insurance policy from somebody else, my health is from somebody else, my motor and my home is insured from somebody else. They are not getting the benefit of the scale, right? They're not being able to really get to that one place where say, hey, I am insuring everything from you, so you better give me a better deal, you give me a better policy, you give me a better accessibility, everything around that, right? So you treat me better because I'm spending around my protection with you and savings with you. That's one side of the things. And on the other side also, the players, especially with FDI coming to 100%, a lot of multinationals will come. And if you see the global trend, most of the multinationals are really those who are catering to all types of insurance as well, right? So life, general health, everything is one portfolio. They could manage it slightly differently, but they have the access. They know the customer 360, and they know that this customer I could really take care of, and I can cross sell, I can do. So you are incentivizing both the players, and also that in turn helps the policyholders as well, right? So I think pricing, everything else will get impacted and should improve.
In association